Pinching Mutant into Scissors. Intrude Scissors. Okay, that's how you say it. Alright, drop zone, auto. At the end of the battle, your grade 3 or greater Vanguard attack. If a new card was put into your opponent's damage zone this turn, cause Counterblast 1 and call this card to rearguard circle. And then the second ability, when placed, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your rear guards, stand it, and this unit gets power 10k to the end of the turn. Hold up for one particular second. Worm Toxic Mutant Venom Stinger. First ability, Vanguard Circle. When a card is put into your opponent's damage zone during your turn, this unit gets power 10k to the end of the turn. It is not a once per turn, it could stack. The second one, Vanguard Circle. When it attacks, calls Counterblast 1 and put a rear guard into your soul. Until the end of that battle, even if a trigger unit is revealed during your opponent's damage check, that trigger effect does not activate, and you perform the same trigger effect as that card's trigger effect. Then, cause Counter Soul Blast 1 grade 3, choose up to 2 cards from your opponent's damage zone, put them into his or her drop zone, and deal 1 damage to your opponent's Vanguard for each card put into his or her drop zone. Oh, bruh. 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 I don't know what to say to this. I really don't know what to say to this. How? Sway? How, Sway? We got not only rescue checks going against the opponent, we also got the Novell skill. So basically, technically, like once they're at 5 damage and I can use this skill, they basically lost. I mean, let's be real. Bushiroad isn't giving Novell any support whatsoever. Might as well make good use of that skill. Give it to us. Give it to us. That's basically what we deserve. This is way different from what I thought that this effect was actually going to do. This was way different than what I thought Venom Sting was actually going to do. If you saw my video yesterday, I did also go over explain the grade 1 that we got, which was Moth, aka Valentino, where basically in the Vanguard, in the deck and into the soul, he counts as a grade 3. He also gets the recovery card, and you get the counter charge 1. Cards pretty good. These 3 particular cards are fucking good for no apparent reason. No apparent reason whatsoever. I never would have thought Mega Colony would have got something very good. But obviously there's some drawbacks to it. But let's break it down for a minute. Okay, so I already went over the grade 1. If you haven't seen it, look at my video yesterday, which was basically a theory video. And honestly, I'll go over the grade 1, but let me give you the Cliff Note version. So basically, it turbos Antlion. It also turbos Gun and Colio. It also turbos out basically any Mega Colony grade 3 that you have to Soul Blast a grade 3 with outside of Ornamental. Because you already know it has to be a grade 3 machining, and since the card isn't machining, you can't really count Ornamental. However, when it comes to Antlion, when it comes to Gun and Colio, when it comes to Venom Stinger, this card works absolutely perfectly. Not to mention that it's Soul Blasts, not to mention that you can do a bunch of other dumb stuff with this. Like, think about this for a second. You can use the grade 3, the new one. You can use Scissors. Attack with him. Use Venom Stinger. Put him into the Soul. Then Soul Blast him. After they take the damage, he comes right back out. For no apparent reason. For no reason whatsoever. I mean, even Scissors. Makes synergy with practically every single Mega Colony deck out there. You can make like a budget deck with just scissors, like antlion, and a couple of other things, and then you can actually make it very good for no apparent reason. Venom Stinger, oh my god, that thing is stupid on so many levels. Like that, it ain't stupid. It's stupid. There's a difference. It's stupid. Like that. I mean, how? How? But I mean, like, even with the one negative thing about this card, there's only one negative thing about this card, and it is not even that bad. I mean, it's just a simple fact that it's a completely new mechanic, which it doesn't help Gridora. It doesn't help. Actually, to be fair, it does actually help Gun and Colio a lot when you really think about it. Because Gun and Colio is a mill mechanic. Then you have this card that forces your opponent to take the top two cards of their deck and put it to the damage zone. That's technically partially a mill mechanic on its own. So technically, what would you do? What would you do? Would you use Gun and Colio first and use this as a finisher, or would it be the other way around? There are so many possibilities you can do with this card. It's ridiculous. I don't even, dude. It's all like, that basically means that Gun and Colio has a way to multi-attack. That basically means that this actually helps out Gridora too. Like, not Venom Stinger in particular, but even though you could run Venom Stinger in there, like, to be honest, if you really think about it, you could technically be like, yo, if I'm going against a deck that doesn't really have too many rear guards to use, let's just go Venom Stinger route. Like, I kind of feel like that you can basically go like an either or route with like Gridora. Well, I mean, it's going to suck a little bit because then you take away a little bit of the synergy from both decks in particular. But I mean, you could technically do that. But I honestly feel like that his best friend is Gun and Colio, because you're going to be using a lot of the mill mechanics, and then you're going to be using this particular skill in general to, you know, force your opponent to, you know, drive, you know, the damage check themselves. Yeah, I mean, you can basically use it with both, which is something that I like about it. But like I said, like, it's a new mechanic. It doesn't really help. It kind of sort of helps out mill. It doesn't really help out the problem with the cradle mechanic. It is in a rear guard skill, so technically like I say, you could use it with Gridora, but you kind of can at the same time. But you already know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like, I remember, like, a lot of people were setting this as a rear guard skill, but Scissors is good enough. Scissors is way good enough. But man, I was not expecting the effect to be this fire. I was expecting the effect to be average. I wasn't expecting it to be mediocre. Like, this is past mediocre. Like, now, I don't know if this actually makes Mega Colony arch enemy. I don't think it does, because I still feel like that Mega Colony has a lot of way to go before it becomes like the quote-unquote meta. Even though I don't necessarily see, I don't think I can ever really see Mega Colony become like quote-unquote meta. I can always see it as a rogue deck. Because here's the thing, I'm gonna go a little bit off topic. But I'm gonna actually explain this in further detail, because I am gonna do a live stream later on today for people who's watching this video today. I'm gonna be doing a live stream, and basically, not on my channel, not on my YouTube though, but like on my Facebook and whatnot. On, you know, Savage Armor Jill and Giraffe. Follow that page if you haven't. But anyway, I'm basically gonna be doing like a live stream, and basically, I want to go over this particular point in general. I want to go over this card a little bit more, because then I can like reflect on the rest of the day up until, like, you know, that live stream for it. But my thing is you have like what, 5 particular control decks in the game. You got Kagero, Narukami, Link Joker, Mega Colony, and Nubatama. In my personal opinion, I feel like that Mega Colony and Kagero, they're a they're a control deck that is more of a rogue deck than anything. Um, Narukami is a control deck that acts like an aggro deck. Um, Link Joker is an anti-meta, control deck that acts like a meta deck. That is actually in reality a meta deck. And then you have Nubatama, that it's legitimately the only control deck in the game. Now, I'm gonna basically go in a little bit further detail what I mean by that in the live stream though, but basically that's how I see it, and that's the reason why I kind of feel like Main Colony, if it becomes meta, it's not gonna become meta for long. Like, cause it's kind of sort of like I feel like Kagero and Main Colony are kind of the same. Like, if it becomes meta, it's gonna become meta for a very short time. Then it's just gonna go right back to a rogue deck, cause it makes no sense that you have all of these very powerful mechanics and you still not like the top dog deck. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, look at Kagero. They got a way to consistently restand Vanguard. They got a way to kill your opponent off on grade 2 with the cross and, the end and all that other stuff. And then you also have the fact that premium version Kagero has a way to blow up your field during your particular turn. Like, how do you have all of that? Oh yeah, then they have a way to make you take free damage. Then they also have a way to dry check up to the number of cards in your damage zone. I mean, they have a lot of stuff going for it. They even have an infinite combo in their whole thing, but they're not like a tier 1 deck, and I don't understand why. And it's the same thing with Main Colony. You have the Cradle Marker mechanic, which is it is diet lock though, but like it's a mechanic that allows you to punish people. You have the mill mechanic, where, let's be real, it still doesn't feel like a mill deck though, but it's still something better than nothing. And then you have a way to stun your opponent's Vanguard. You have a way to prevent your opponent from, using G guards. You have all of this and you're still not a meta deck. How? I mean, there's like obviously some obvious answers, but that's why I said they're more of a rogue deck than they are a meta deck. But, back to Venom Stinger, back to Sauce God Venom Stinger, because let's be real, that dude's bringing up all the sauce. Actually, to be honest, will this technically be dethroning Ghidorah? I mean, because Ghidorah was originally like the best like grade 3 that we had. Now we got Venom Stinger. I don't know. You looking a lot better than Ghidorah right now. Like, no homo though, but still, you already know what I mean. Like, as far as like doing a deck and whatnot, though, he does look a little bit better. I will admit that. Anyway, the scissors card, man, I cannot explain to you how stupid that card really is. Now, I will admit, without Venom Stinger, he doesn't work as well, but he still works. But I guess now the question is, do you still run Hell Demise? Like, let's be real. Let's be real on that. Do you still run Hell Demise? Because, like, he's basically like a better version of Hell Demise, like, when you really think about it. Because if he's in the drop zone, that means that you can attack with somebody and your opponent has to decide either to take the damage or not. Because they take the damage, then there's going to be another card coming out and another attack that we can basically do. And remember, it's not a once per turn skill. It's not a hard once per turn either. You can, as long as there's a copy in the graveyard, in the drop zone, you can use his skill. It's stupid. And of course, there's some resource management that you have to do here and there. But like, still, the fact that this is a thing, the fact that this is a thing, it makes it hilarious. I mean, think about this. You can do like, if you were to do like the gun and coat, if you were to go like the mill mechanic type route, you can go like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use dust speed. I'm gonna use dust speed. You mill two cards. One of them was the grade one or higher. So now when I attack with dust speed, you now have to guard with two or more cards in hand. And then like, let's say, you know, why does every time I record there always gotta be a fucking ambulance? But anyway, back to what I was saying. Then you attack with like another card. Let's say you attack with Cyclomative. You mill one of their cards and it wasn't a grade one or higher. It's just a regular attack. So they don't get the built-in crit. They take the hit. Well, guess what happens? Ha ha ha! Stupid scissors come out of nowhere, be like, "Oh yeah, let me come out the drop zone, come onto the field, gain plus 10k, use his ability to soul blast one and restand dust speed." Now they got to not only deal with a 22k grade 3, they also have to deal with dust speed, which you have to mill. I mean, not mill, where they have to, you know, sacrifice two or more cards from their hand, you know, just you know, not to take the damage. But like, let's be real, they're not always going to have that. So either they're at 6 damage and they basically lose a game, or if you have another one, ha ha ha, time for round 2. Time for round 2. And they got to do with that all over again. Man, it is a endless it's a madless loop. Then we got Phantom Black. Like, let's be real. Phantom Black prevents you from guarding with anything that isn't a trigger unit. So that definitely comes into play. And then they have to take the hit, and then guess what? Round 3. Round 3, like, this card's a lot more busted than we thought it was going to be. Like, let's be real on that. Like, this card was a lot more dumb than it's supposed to be. I mean, you can't necessarily do that with, like, Hell Demise either. But, I mean, you can even go as far as, like, doing just, like, a Ghidorah build with, like, no Dark Face. Just be like, yo, let me do, like, 4 Ghidorah, 4 Scissors, and 4 Hell Demise, and let's just all have a restanding, you know, restanding party. No stand triggers. Restanding but no stand. You practically Nova Grapplers at that point. You practically Nova Grapplers at that point. Like, let's be real on that. You practically Novas. So, I mean, man, these 2 cards, actually these 3 cards, they were worth it. I will admit that. Man, I definitely cannot wait to start doing deck builds with these cards. I cannot wait to start trying to figure out more ways to abuse Venom Stinger. Like, there's already a bunch of things that you can do with Venom Stinger though, but man, there's gonna be a few things. However, there is something that you do have to realize. So, that effect where they do the damage step and it's a trigger, and like, let's say they do a critical trigger, you gotta remember that because the attack already hit, putting it on the Vanguard won't really do much. Like, let's be real on that. Because the damage already hit, there's really no point in putting it on the Vanguard. So you definitely gotta put on the rear guard. So using that example before, now dust speed has a critical. Fucking spicy. Fucking spicy. Man, I hope this doesn't really. I hope it doesn't become too good to the point where like Bushiroad has to start hitting shit, because that would be completely. That would be completely anticlimactic. But man, another problem that we definitely have, and it's just a quick problem, and then I'll basically let you guys go. I feel like another quick problem is they've revealed this card way too early. So that basically means that he's not going to be possibly the best card in the set. He's going to be a highlight, but I don't think he's going to be the best one. I mean, because we got like what Mahalik that has to still be shown. We still don't even know what Chaos Breaker does. We don't even know if like we don't even know what I forgot which Narukami card was it. Was it the Blood? I mean, I remember it was Vermilion, but I forgot which version of Vermilion what it was. But anyway, we don't know what Vermilion's gonna do. And usually Narukami usually gets some busted ass shit. Like I feel like that ever since this reboot, like the weakest Narukami reveal has been that stride from 2019. But that's about it. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. I was very excited to talk about this particular card. I am going to go a little bit more in depth into it as I actually make a whole card spotlight. Matter of fact, I think my very first card spotlight video is going to be about not only the three cards that was revealed to in this set, but also the cards that's getting reprinted outside of Paralyzed Madonna. So it's gonna be like one huge episode. Expect that to happen. But for now, my name's Mr. Zoo Nation, aka Savage Armadillo Giraffe, signing out. If you're watching this the same day it's uploaded, I'll see you guys at the live stream. I'm out.